here in ISKCON Chowpatty. And soon then he was sent to Pune. And in Pune, then since 1997, he is leading Pune, ISKCON Pune. He is a temple president from 1997 till now. So he founded their IYF and Voice, which is like a youth wing of ISKCON in Pune. And that led to many wonderful training. And he guided so many professional people. And he guided so many preachers also. Through them, he preached all over India. In most of the leading IITs and NITs, he preached and he guided so many youths. And now, not just in India, now he is also, his presence is also in the USA. He did many corporate programs in Bank of America, Infosys, Cognizant, to name few. And he presented seminars in USA, like some of the universities like MIT, Boston, University of Texas, Stanford University, Cornell University, University of Washington. So many wonderful programs he had done there. So we have really very great fortune to hear from His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. He is being a lot of inspiration and guiding force for here at ISKCON Youth Services in Chowpatty here. So we are very thankful for Radheshyam Prabhu for giving his time to all of us. Let's chant 3 times Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari Kunda Vihari Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Bol Hare Bol Hare Bol Nitya Gaura Hare Bol Shri Radha Gopinath Lalita Vishaka ki Shri Giridhari Gopal ki Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Srila Prabhupada ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Kaliyuga Pavana Harinama Sankirtan ki Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuvunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Welcome all of you. You all are able to see this. You can switch off probably one light. So you can see I use generally a PowerPoint during my shows always. It conveys a lot. This topic of sever bondage with sword of wisdom, briefly named as sword of wisdom, is a theme which is very relevant to the youths of today. As I proceed, you will see that. See, when we talk about sword, naturally with the sword, what do? You cut, isn't it? Maybe you are aware of this. You know the name of the famous Lord Balaji. One of the names is Venkatachalapati. Correct, no? So Venkat means suffering. Cut means one who cuts. Venkat, one who cuts sufferings. That is why Vina Venkatesham Nanato Nanata Sada Venkatesham Smarami Hare Venkatesha Prasida Priyam Venkatesha Prayacha. So the devotee prays that, my dear Lord Venkatesha, or the Lord of the universe, may I always remember you in all situations in my life, because you are actually presiding over the universe. You have created everything, you are maintaining everything, you are supervising everything. You are present in every universe, you are present in every atom, you are also present in my heart. Because of this, I have nothing to fear. Because sometimes we fear justice, whether justice will be in my favor or not. If I walk the right path, Lord, the Supreme Ishvara is always witnessing. That gives great confidence and courage to the devotee. So, as soon as you rise early in the morning, you should remember the Lord who is Venkat, one who is the remover of all sufferings. So, even the name of Hari, you heard the name Hari, right? It has two meanings. Sarva Amangala Hare iti Hari. That's one meaning. One who removes all inauspiciousness from your life. Just like see the sun, it removes all the urine passed by so many people on the surface of the planet. But the sun doesn't get contaminated. And the place also gets cleaned. It's very amazing. Where does the urine go? Only God knows. Huh? The place is also clean. Sun also never becomes impure. You see? So in this way, Lord Hari can remove all the sufferings and He is supremely pure. Pavitram. He can remove all sufferings. Another meaning of Hari is Premadiya Hariman. He gives you love and He attracts your heart. It's called as Manohar. Har means to attract. Manohar. So Hari also means remover. Remover of sufferings. Venkat is also same meaning. So as soon as you hear the word sword, cutting comes into mind. So why the wisdom is compared to a sword, we will see very soon today. See, wisdom is compared to many things in the scriptures, one of which is lamp, as you see here. This is what is chanting. See, you are able to see? See, there is a demon in the heart, you see. And the demon is creating a lot of... Where is the speaker? This one? Yeah, special sound. This one? On. This one? This one? Okay.
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
In the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Teshamevanukam partham aham ajnanajam tamaham nashayamyatma bhavastu jnanadipena bhasvata. I lit up the heart of my devotee with the light of wisdom, he says. Just like you saw. Three things you saw, right? First you saw some demons with horns, threatening thing. So even when we chant the holy name also sometimes the demons inside they create trouble, don't chant. And they distract us. Lust, anger, greed, everything comes up. Then secondly, what did you see? You saw a lamp. So that represents the wisdom. Wisdom lamp was lit up. And then he is saying Lord Vishnu in the heart. In this way, Krishna says that I offer the wisdom lamp to my devotee in the heart of my devotee. One who becomes my devotee. So one of the ways wisdom is compared is not only to sword but also to lamp. Here the wisdom is compared to eye, you see. See the picture here. The saint is looking at 5 different people. He's looking at a dog, a cow, a brahmana, an elephant, and a dog eater. And in each body he sees the same soul, Pandita Samadarshana. So that is the kind of vision he has. So I have shown Prabhupada also. Shastra Chaksha means to see, like you are walking in the road, you look at a dog. You should feel pity for the dog. This poor fellow has misused his free will in the last life, so he has now entered into the body of a dog now. You can see like that. Or you look at a tree, you think, oh, he has probably done even more terrible. So he got into a tree and he can't even move. Imagine if somebody buries you up to the knee, you just cannot move. How difficult it will be, huh? So Prabhupada in America saw one tree outside a house. And the tree branch was going inside the compound and touching the house like that. Prabhupada said, this fellow built the house, but he couldn't live for long in that place. Now he became a tree, at least he wanted to touch the house. Like that he was telling. So Prabhupada used to say, tree body means stand up on the bench punishment. Like that he used to say. Just stand in one place like that. So you should feel pity. When you, in this way, when we look at the world around us, people are going very fastly in that, vehicles here and there running very, very fast. Like city never sleeps, we say, midnight you see so many vehicles are going, you see, oh, the city is in passion. So countryside is in goodness, city is in passion or ignorance. Liquor shop is in ignorance. So this is actually a Shastra Chakshu. You develop the vision to see the world around with the eyes that Lord Krishna gives you in the Bhagavad Gita. And then we can be careful. Oh, this is good association, I can associate. Oh, this is bad association, I should keep away. Huh? So one will know the ability to discriminate. So three things I told you, right? First I told you wisdom is compared to a sword. Then I told you wisdom is compared to lamp. Then now I am telling you wisdom is compared to eye. Many places. Satchakshur janmanamante labdham metva danugraha. This is Devhuti is telling. Huh? Oh, Guru, spiritual master, you are like my eye. Even Prabhupada, we sing a song, Chakrudan Dillo Jai, Janme Janme Prabhu Sai. You have given me the eyes, the right eyes to see the world. Otherwise, I would be like a blindfolded fool, doing nonsensical things and inviting suffering. Imagine if there is a manhole that is open. Somebody saves me from falling into it by catching my hand and leading me. He is my savior, isn't it? So, in the same manner, spiritually, Prabhupada is saving us. So we say, I will serve you birth after birth because you have given me the eyes to see. Yeah. So then, okay, now coming back to the sword example. Wisdom sword is used for what? To cut doubts to pieces. Actually, we are living in an age where there is a lot of faithlessness due to so much bluff in the internet world. There are many, many things in the internet world where people have thrown things up there, but you don't know who has put it. And you don't know whether it is true or not. And they create doubts about so many things. And they go away. So many times people who have extra time, they go there and see. They just watch this, watch that. Basically, the gift they get is doubts. They get more and more doubts. So when we get doubts in our mind, what should we do? If you bury doubt in your mind and don't ask anybody, it's going to internally eat you up, isn't it? So, like one example I'll tell you. When you hear about Lord Krishna, Krishna is dancing with the gopis. So you have become a devotee now, but you may have fear to ask, Krishna can dance with gopis. Why we are told we can't dance with girls? Can't we do dandiyaras? What's wrong? This question may come in your mind. But imagine you have a Prabhuji or mentor teaching you, you may be afraid to ask him. He may say, hey, aparad, you should not ask such question. So in Pune, I spoke one lecture called as Krishna's Rasa Dance Can We Imitate? That was the topic we had. So 8 reasons that Prabhupada writes in Krishna book. One or two I'll tell you. Anybody knows what was the age of Krishna when he danced with gopis? At 7 years, he lifted Govardhan hill. At the age of 8, he danced with gopis. At the age of 8. At the age of 11, he left Vrindavan. And he was in Mathura. At the age of 13 and a half, he left Mathura and went to Dwaraka. So Krishna was only 8 years old and he was dancing with the gopis. Therefore, Parikshit was surprised. The boy is just 8-year-old. At that time, one's sexual appetite is also not awakened. He's just 8-year-old boy. That was also doubtful for Parikshit. Another thing that is said in the Bhagavatam in one shloka, the gopis were lying in the bed. Their mother, father, they saw them. But still they were dancing with Krishna. How is this possible? They were dancing with their spiritual bodies. Their material bodies are at home. That is also mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srila Prabhupada says, in this world, when a Shudra marries, they do sex match. When a Vaishya marries, they will see money match. You can ask anybody, Marwadis or Agarwal, Bansal, Goyal, you can check. Whenever they do marriages, they will certainly see the status or not. We can check. They will see the monetary status. And when Kshatriyas marry, what they will check? They will see strength. In those days, you have to go to a forest and slap a lion and come back. Then only you will get a girl. Now nobody can get a match nowadays. Or at least you have to subdue a bull. You have to capture a bull. Bull many times will throw men in such a way that they will break their hands and legs. So they will check the strength, your physical strength and stamina. And Brahmana means they will see character. I have seen in South India when Brahmanas would do the match, they would check, do you know how to sing or do you know how to dance? You know, which family you come from. Is it a good family, good character, good qualities? They will see that. But if God wants a girl, she can't be in any of these four. She has to be above all this. And who is that? There is only one match that Krishna is looking for, Seva Bhav. Whoever has the Seva Bhav in the maximum quantity, they only can match with the Lord. Nothing else can attract him. Everything else he possesses. Correct, no? Krishna has everything else. So who is that personality? That Srimati Radharani. Radha, name comes from Aradhana. There is one verse which says that Anaya Aradito Nunam Bhagavan Haririshwaraha. Anaya Aradito. An Aradhana word itself, what is there? Radha is there. Radha means 24/7, she has no other business other than worshipping Krishna. Radha. So, Krishna was attracted to one ugly duckling who was looking like an ugly person, who is Kubja, when he entered Mathura. How? Because Kubja had Seva Bhav. She was carrying chandan for Kamsa, but she took it and put it on Krishna and Balaram. And then Krishna, in a moment, he gave her a beautiful body. How many of you know this? You heard about it? Yeah. So now you may see that it's not that Krishna is attracted to gopis because they are beautiful. Prabhupada says, Krishna is not after the beauties are after Krishna. Like 16,000 princesses were liberated by Krishna in the palace of Bhaumasura. And Krishna told them, all of you go home, get married and be happy. They didn't budge an inch. So then Krishna asked them, why are you not moving? They said, sir, how will we go home now? We were already touched by the Asura. Now nobody will marry us in this world. We are a rejected lot. Then Krishna asked, then what do you want to do? You only saved us, you only marry us. Krishna said, all right, come all of you. He married all 16,000 of them and gave them all one palanquin to go to Dwaraka, and then he gave them a palace. He also expanded himself into 16,000 forms. He expanded himself. And he gave them jewelry, he gave them saris. He lived with each of them like that. So one boy said, how can Krishna marry 16,108? This cannot be allowed. He said, why? Because I cannot marry. He said, I cannot marry and maintain. You can't even maintain one also properly. So that is the meaning of God. God is great. He is not after those beauties are after him. And also when he would come in the evening and as the king of Dwaraka, they would remove his shoes, wash his feet, they would remove his mukut and comb him, and then feed him very, very nice prasad. And the queens would be standing with the peacock feather and fan him, standing next to him. And Krishna would be looking at them and smiling. Look at these queens. I have given them 1,000 maidservants. Instead of engaging them in my service, who is serving? They themselves want to serve me. So he was very touched by their seva bhav. But he was not attracted to their feminine beauties. Although they had very attractive body and beauty, spotless beauty they had. Because actually Krishna himself can generate any number of beauties. Another form of Krishna is called Naranarayan Rishi, you all know. From his thighs, many, many celestial beauties came, Apsaras came. When Indra wanted to distract him, he sent Madan and Rati. But then Lord smiled and generated so many Apsaras from his thighs And Madan Rati became afraid. And Lord called them and said, don't be afraid. Take this, one of this Apsaras called Urvashi as a donation to Indra. Go and give it. When Indra came to know that Lord produced all these Apsaras, he got shocked. And they told him, anyway, Lord has forgiven you, don't worry. One Apsaras come also here. Huh? They gave Urvashi. So he is producing millions of beauties. Why will he be? Prabhupada says, a sweet shop owner never eats sweets himself. Prabhupada says. Huh? Because he's sitting in the middle of the sweets. Similarly, Krishna is sitting in the middle of thousands of beauties. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyama. So, when you hear from the Shastra properly, that opens your eyes. One devotee asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, why you say only Krishna, Krishna? Why not so many other devatas? Prabhupada said, you see, there are so many ministers, but there is only one prime minister, correct, no? Prabhupada said, similarly, there are many holes in your body, 9 holes, but you eat only with one hole. Which is that hole? Put in the mouth, correct? Prabhupada said, do you eat like this? Do you eat like this? And then he asked, do you eat like this? He asked her. So, that disciple told Prabhupada, Swamiji, there is something called as basti, or, they in Ayurveda, Panchakarma, they give some medicated liquids through the backside. You know that? Like a injection, they give it from the behind the tube they give. Yeah. So you said, why I only eat through the mouth, but they also give food from behind. One devotee argued, Prabhupada said, that is only in a diseased state. He said, no healthy person will put the food behind. All healthy people will eat food like this only, correct, no? That means if you are healthy, you will go for Krishna. You will worship Krishna. If you are not healthy, you go to different devatas and demand many material benefits. So Prabhupada was very crystal clear. And also he is not just saying his own thing. Krishna himself says, and somebody asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, they say we can worship anybody we want and then we'll go to the same destination. Prabhupada said, what are you saying? Yanti deva vrata devan pitrum yanti pitru vrataha bhutani yanti bhuseja yanti madhyajinopimam. He said, if you worship the devatas, you will go to those devatas. If you worship bhuta pretas and pishatas and all, you will go to them. But if you worship me, you will come back to me, Krishna says. Very clearly Krishna says, whomore you worship, you will go to them. So Prabhupada had one shloka for every question. He would answer like that. So he was cutting doubts into pieces very powerfully, whether it be scientists, whether it be scholars, whether it be devotees. And why our movement has so many youngsters? This is the main reason. Because Prabhupada's books are like a sun shining in the sky. You cannot hide it. Imagine it, if I am holding a watermelon in my hand, can somebody hide it? I think, how will you hide it? Truth is like that. Truth is so powerful, mighty like that. So, Arjuna called Krishna as a Madhusudana. Madhu is a demon. Madhusudana means killer of demon Madhu. Similarly, kill my doubts also, Krishna, he said. And he asked many doubts, and Krishna clarified all of them. So, wisdom sword can cut doubts to pieces. But today I will talk more about this point. Wisdom sword to cut the knot of material attachment. Yeah. So what is that material attachment? We will see in the subsequent slides. Say you are attracted to eating gulab jamun. It is called as a one-way attachment because if you are attracted to gulab jamun, as soon as it comes out, you will run behind it. But gulab jamun will not run behind you. It's only one-way attachment, right? Whereas here you see, now two-way man-woman attachment, you will see that when a man and woman become attracted to each other, it's like this clip. If one clip wants to get rid and become free, it cannot because other one may not permit. If it becomes open like that. Or by the time this personality wants to become free, this personality will not leave. So therefore, in the Vedic life, after 50, one is supposed to take vanaprastha. You know that? After 75, one is supposed to take sannyas. But the family bond is very strong, generally speaking. Therefore, husband and wife are allowed to go for vanaprastha together. They go. And then after 75, the wife will return back to the children and then husband will go for sannyas. Therefore, we say beyond 50, beyond 50, what comes? Ikavan, Bhavan. So one means vanamas. Similarly, after 80, 80, what comes? Ikyasi, Bayasi, Sannyasi. Anything else? When it's supposed to do like that. So now that is the proper marriage and then appropriate renunciation. But what I am showing here is inappropriate attachment. Actually, you can speak more than me. You can give a bigger lecture than me on this topic because you know very well what I am talking about. Because, see, you all belong to millennial group, right? Right. Gen Z, of course. Some of them are very young also. See, I belong to the X generation, 1965 to 1980, and 81 to 96, those who are born, they are actually the millennial group. And then 97 to 2012 is a Z. Then after those are born after 2012, 2013, they are called the A. Next thing has come now. So if you see in our generation, there was separation between the sexes quite a bit. There was discipline and everything. So when you go to the millennial generation, there is not so much separation. So then there is so much of free mixing and everything, and that leads to inappropriate connections at a premature stage, ruining the academics, ruining good health, ruining good habits, and multiple connectivity. And that is why there was early marriage in the Vedic times. What happens in early marriage? I'll quickly tell you about it. You see, when a girl is about 10, boy is 14, they would conduct the marriage. But the girl will live with the parents, and the boy will live with his parents. Then why did they marry, you may ask? Because the girl knows, now I have a man in my life. I got my husband. And she will focus her mind on him. She'll be thinking, at the right time, my parents will send me with him. She knows. And she will never think of any other man. And the boy also, as soon as the marriage is over, immediately he'll become very serious in his studies and do a job. He knows, now I have to put up a family now. I have to make a house, I have to buy a vehicle, everything. So he'll become very responsible in his duties. And by the time he becomes 18, 19, and she becomes like 16, 15, 16, she attains puberty, then they are allowed to stay together. And immediately they beget 2, 3 children in 3, 4 years. And then you will find their whole attention goes on the children. Now they know there is nothing wonderful about sex life or anything like that, because now their attention is to grow the children now. And society was peaceful like this. But now boys are marrying at 35 now. Yesterday I met one man who's 40 now. He's saying, I want to marry, but nobody is marrying me, Vasali. Then I said, then you join our ashram if you want. And he is saying, Swamiji, how did you understand my heart? That is my only fear in coming to ISKCON. I asked, what is the fear? I am afraid some brahmachari will catch me and shave me up. But I'm still coming and taking darshan and running away. And I was very surprised. I said, see, if you are so afraid, you can never join. Don't worry. Those who join actually come on their own to join. And I said, you are 40 and he still wants to marry. He is not able to marry because of so many other responsibilities. The idea is what? Now we are living in an age where by the time one goes for marriage, one has indulged in so many bad habits, including this connection. So a wrong type of attachment. So many males come to me, boys asking about how to overcome lust. But lust is not the root problem. One step prior to lust is attachment. Therefore, I'm talking about it. Because if you work on cutting the attachment, you will not have lust. And now you may have a question, how does attachment come then? Where does attachment come? See, there is a difference between attraction and attachment. Like for example, like a rat is looking at a rat trap. Inside they have put a pakoda or a bhaji or something. He's smelling. It looks nice. He's looking at it. And then if he knows, hey, 2 years ago my friend was caught in this. Although it smells nice, I am not going to go. He should go away immediately. Correct, no? But if he's a foolish rat, he may think, no, I will go. I'll just pull out the pakoda and come bring it out and I'll eat. He may be thinking. But then he goes in and when he pulls it, what happens? Immediately is trapped. So now why did he go inside? Because he was repeatedly contemplating on it. Oh, it smells nice. Oh, it looks good. Somehow I will get it. So with that idea, so that means dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha. See, third step is karma. First step is repeated contemplation. When you repeatedly contemplate on any object, that gives rise to attachment. Attraction turns into attachment by repeated contemplation. Repeated contemplation is like keeping an ink pen on a blotting paper. If you keep it, what happens? Like that is pride, it absorbs. So it's not wrong. Attraction is not wrong, but we should be attracted to the right things. Unfortunately, in this world, we are attracted more easily to wrong things. Like children are attracted to eating cocoa chocolates, isn't it? So, even though he's losing tooth one by one, he still wants to eat it. Adamantly wants to eat it. So, therefore, we have been warned, not this, not that, don't do this, don't do that. So, one of the easiest ways to not be attracted to the wrong things is to have the insight and ability to know the defects in the wrong thing. For example, say I have bundi with me. I'm showing you bundi. You come running. Hey, please give me also. But I show you that there are a lot of ants in it. I show you, see, there are a lot of ants here. You will immediately turn your face away. Correct, no? No more attraction. Therefore, bhukta bhoga parityakta drishta dosha chanityasha. It is said that drishta dosha means you should be able to see the defect in sense gratification. That to the degree you can see, well, that alone is not enough. It is only one of the conditions. Once you know that this sense gratification cannot make me happy, it makes me suffer, then you can use your intelligence to subdue the impure mind, not to go for it. See, there are three things: intelligence, mind, and senses. So I'll show you action, you all can repeat after me, you will not forget this. Strengthen your intelligence. Repeat. Strengthen. Yeah. Purify the mind. Control the senses. You remember this? Three different things you have to do. What you should do with intelligence? And mind? Yeah. And senses? Very good. So, how do we strengthen the intelligence? By studying Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Correct? This knowledge itself is called as a sword of Bhagavad Gita. So, in the Krishna Balaram combination, you see, Krishna gives you knowledge, and Balaram gives you the strength to hold the sword of knowledge. So, Krishna is giving you the award of sword, and Balaram gives you the strength. Similarly, we have Gaur Nitai, Chaitanya Nityananda. Lord Chaitanya has given all the knowledge through Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Shiksha, everything he gave. But Nityananda Prabhu is the Adi Guru, so the spiritual master. So we need the shelter of a Guru to be able to hold the knowledge what we have received, and then apply it in our life also. Because Guru is a role model. One who comes as a mentor and a Guru in our life, they are role models for us. We get inspired by them. And then we apply the knowledge. And then with that knowledge, you can cut the unwanted material attachments by that. So, strengthen the intelligence, I told you. And mind, how do you clean the mind? Like if you have a mirror with dirt, how do you clean the mirror? Take a wet cloth and you clean it. Then you can see your face very clearly without any cloudy thing. Similarly, how do you cleanse the mind? Cheto darpanamarjanam means you have to cleanse the mind by chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram. Even though you may not have very feeling, even though you may not get any thrill, even though you may find it like climbing a mountain, when you are chanting, it's difficult. But you do it regularly, patiently, you may not even know that your mind and heart are getting cleansed. It actually cleanses, you will see that. It's an austerity. Yajnanam japa yajñosmi, Krishna says that. So, when you are chanting Hare Krishna regularly, gradually Lord is watching you, that this person is making an effort to cleanse his mind. Then he will come to help you. Actually, the chanting of the holy name, we should know the meaning. The meaning is, please all of you repeat, Oh Lord, purify my mind, uplift me, accept me. Prabhupada says these three things. That means you purify me, uplift me, accept me. That's the meaning of chanting Hare Krishna. Like Lord Chaitanya says, my dear Lord, Ayinanda Tanaja Kinkaram, in that verse he says, somehow I have fallen into this. Please pick me up and place me at your lotus feet, like that he says. Once upon a time, an ant was going in a tree branch. It fell into the river. Huh? It fell in a river. Now you can imagine, from a river, how will it escape? Huh? There's water all around. Huh? Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Anadi karma phale padiba varnava jale haribharena dekhi upay. He's saying, I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. I don't have any upay. How to get out of it? Huh? At that time, there was a dove sitting on the top of the tree. The dove felt pity for the ant. So he plucked the leaf and threw it down. So boarding the leaf like a boat, the ant could reach the shores of the river. Huh? Then again, it would climb the tree again. Similarly, in our life, Prabhupada has come like the dove, and he's plucking and giving the leaf of his books. Huh? Taking shelter of his books, we can reach the shores of the spiritual world. And we can again go back to Godhead again, be with Krishna. So, therefore, the sword of knowledge is the wisdom that he is giving through his books, which Krishna is giving, and Prabhupada is repeating that knowledge faithfully. So, I showed you one-way attachment, the Gulab Jamun attachment, and there are two-way attachment, Manuma attachment. These are all very difficult attachments to give up. But by ever joyful spiritual attachment when you develop, then the lower attachments are very easy to overcome. Like in the 7.1 Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, see, the goal of Bhagavad Gita is not to cultivate detachment, he says. The goal of Bhagavad Gita is to cultivate attachment. But attachment to whom? Krishna. Please all of you repeat that verse. Maya saktamanaha partha yogam yunjan madashrayah asamshayam samagram mam yata jnasyasi tachruno. He is telling that Mahi asakta manaha partha. How you can become attached to me? I'll tell you, Arjuna. You learned from me from this chapter. So he clearly says that Mahi asakta manaha partha. That means there are two asaktis, material asakti, spiritual asakti. So how to rise above the unwanted, unholy kind of attachments? Then we have to have a holy and pure attachments. Then you can give up the lower ones. Like for example, one time we brahmacharis were traveling in the train, we were carrying chapatis. But the journey was like 36 hours journey, long distance from Pune to Calcutta, in Azad Hind, very, very long journey. So, but the chapatis had become dry by the evening, but we had nothing else. We were planning to take. But on the way, one group of another temple brahmacharis came. They were carrying Rajabhog, very nice prasad. They said, we have abundant Prabhu for a more number of devotees. We have you also take with us. Immediately we took our roti and gave it to beggars. How we could give it? Because there is a higher taste promise. Correct. When you get a better prasad, you give the old prasad to somebody else. Similarly, the lower attachments can only be given up when you have higher attachment. Param drishtva vartate. Krishna says that. So we have to develop attraction. Now all of you are coming for this Prerana festival monthly once, and you are attending many programs. It's a very, very big achievement in your life. Because you have taken out time to go to a temple of God, bow down to Him and hear the kirtans and hear the wisdom and take Prabhupada books. You have this progress you are making in this life. This is happening to you after millions of lives actually. Krishna says it's not a very easy thing. The living already goes round and round to so many bodies, but at last he comes to Krishna. So, as you know very well, about Krishna, Brahmaji offers this prayer. We'll begin with this. Ishwaraha Parama Krishnaha Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. So first line says that there are many Ishwaras. Even you are also Ishwara to some degree because you have control over somebody. Prabhupada says he told one man. So you have control over your wife and children and family, or may not have control also, but you have, some people have control within the family. He said. And that is your kingdom. My wife and children and my compound wall is the end of the kingdom. Correct, no? And somebody has control over his state, CM. And the PM has control over his country. But he can't say, I will have control over another country. Similarly, there are some devatas having control over one planet or something like that. But if you see all the Ananta Koti Brahmanda Nayak, that is Krishna, he says. And second line talks about Krishna's spiritual body. His body is spiritual, not material. Third one talks about how Krishna has no beginning. Many people ask, who created Krishna? Krishna is outside the time domain. He has no beginning, anadir. But he is the source of everything. And he is the cause of all causes. Anything in this world can be traced back to Krishna. You can see that. Like I like a mango. I asked, where did this mango come from? This mango came from a seed which was sown. Where did that seed come from? The previous mango tree. If you go up, Krishna says in 14.4 Bhagavad Gita, Aham Bija, I am the original mango seed giver, he says. From me all the mango trees out, he says. Similarly, you are drinking milk. Oh, milk is very nice. Go Mata ki jai. Drink. And then you ask, where did the milk come from? From the cow. How did the cow give the milk? By eating grass. How did the cow get the grass? Because of the rain shower from the clouds. How could the clouds carry water? They are carrying from the ocean. Who evaporated the ocean water to give it to the clouds? The sun. So, who put the sun there? Yat chakshuresha savita sakalagrahanam raja samasta suramurti rashesha tejaha yasya agnyaya bravati samprita kala chakro govindamadi purusham tamaham vajami yasya agnyaya. By Krishna's agnya, by Govinda's agnya, the sun is moving, he says. Actually, if you study about the movement of the sun, sun moves in a certain orbit. When sun goes up, it goes slow. When it comes down, it comes fast. The rate of the movement of the sun is also not same. That means somebody is controlling the rate, correct now? Are you controlling or am I controlling? We are not. So, he is making the sun rise. He is making the sun set. He is making the cloud shower. He is making the flowers blossom. He is making the crops grow. He is making the fruits ripen. He is making the seasons change. So, he is the one doing all of that. Sarva Karana Karana. So, in this way, then Krishna has put the sun there. Again, you come back to Krishna, you will see that. Sarva Karana Karana. So, who is a liberated jiva? In the Bhagavatam it is said, he clearly knows that Lord has given me this body. He has given me the senses. He has given me the mind and intelligence. I should use them properly. He doesn't abuse them. He doesn't misuse them. He doesn't think I am this body. Like all of you think about your body, you were a small baby at one time. How many of you have seen your babyhood body? You have seen. Not the body, you have seen the photo of that. Correct, no? Yeah. It looks much different, right? Isn't it, when you look at that? Nowadays, they make videos also nowadays. When you cry also, they make a video and keep it. Show you in future how you cried in your childhood. Correct, no? They keep that. So, now when you look back, you see that, I was such a small baby. Now my body has changed. And the body keeps changing further and further and further. So, just 1 minute. You can see this one. Carefully see that. See how much change? You saw from childhood how she has changed. So, is it not scientific to understand that people change like that? It's a scientific fact. Lord Krishna says that in Gita. You can observe it yourself in different people. You may not observe it in yourself, but you can observe it in others at least. You can see that. So, your liberated soul clearly knows that. Therefore, he is not cheated by the mind and the transformations of the mind like lust, anger, greed and all that. And therefore, he becomes free from samsara. He says. On the other hand, conditioned souls here. He is covered by the mind and impurities of the mind. The mind becomes impure for the conditioned soul and he suffers from lust, anger, greed. He is whipped and kicked by lust, anger and greed. And because he acts independent of the Lord, he says. So, in the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita called Purushottam Yoga, Lord Krishna says a very important fact, which I have shown in the negative access section. The people are crying. like this. We are all in the material world now, which is called the negative axis, correct? Yeah. And everybody is looking for peace. Buddhists want to go to nirvana, that is 0, peace. Jains also want to go beyond the wheel of samsara, so that there will be no more suffering there. They want to put a full stop to suffering. They also want to go to 0. Impersonalists also want to go there. Impersonalist goal is to stop the cycle of birth and death. Nitya anitya vastu vivekam. They want to know the difference between what is temporary and permanent. Iha amutra bhoga adi viragam. Material, earthly and heavenly pleasures they want to develop, give that up, and then go to Brahman 0 and become Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Correct? No? Many people ask for that. Actually, I also used to think in my life that peace is the ultimate goal of life. We should become peaceful completely. No more birth and death, no more suffering, no more old age. When I came to ISKCON, I understood that peace is not the ultimate. What is ultimate? Love. Yeah. Love for God is ultimate, and that gives you ananda. See, I've shown in the top. See here, spiritual bliss gives ananda. That is positive access. So, positive access is Vaikuntha, or spiritual world. 0 is the metastable state, the Brahman state. And the negative axis is the material world, where we are all right now. How many of you understand this picture easily? You understand? You understand it? Okay, I'll tell you a quick short story, at the end of which I'll ask you a question. You see, once upon a time, a queen with her friends was playing in the waters for a while, taking bath in the morning. She left her, earring, nose ring, necklace, and bangles, everything in the bank of the pond. And after an hour, when they came out and they were wearing all the ornaments, she realized that the necklace was missing. So then she cried. She asked her friends. They couldn't locate it. She told the king that someone has stolen my necklace. King said, what a great deal. I'll get you another one. She said, I want only the same necklace I want, she said, because my friend had given me as a gift on my birthday. She will ask me, where is the one I gave? She may ask. So you have to somehow get that necklace only back. And the king announced through the ministers, by playing the kettle drums, they announced that anyone who will bring that necklace will get 5 lakh rupees. And the necklace only was 6 lakh. Now they will get 5 lakh now. So many people started searching for the necklace everywhere. Nook and corner, the people were searching. So one gentleman, he found something interesting at the frontiers of the village. There was a lake. In that lake, he saw the necklace lying in the water. So, but morning to evening, he was hanging around that place. It was a forest area. So one sage was passing by in the morning, he saw him, and the sage returned back in the evening, he saw him again. He asked the man, hey, what is happening to you? Why are you hanging around alone in this place? What do you want? The man said, nothing. But the sage could study his eyes, that there is some anxiety on his face. He told him, tell me, I'll help you out. He told the sage, see, if I tell you the truth, you should not ask for the share. Sage said, I won't ask anything, tell me what is it. Then he showed it. Although I see the necklace here, when I put my hand, I'm not able to get it. I only get stones and pebbles. I don't get that necklace. Sage said, oh, that's all you want. I'll give you in a moment now, he said. Immediately next moment, the sage climbed up the top of the tree. And then it was hanging where? In the branch. Because some crow had lifted and put it there. So he brought it down and gave it to the man. And the man said, oh, I never knew that it is in the top. I thought it is inside the... So what he saw in the water was what? Reflection. He was trying to catch the reflection. Can he ever catch? He won't be able to catch. And the sage said, although I won't take a share of the gift you are going to get from the king, 5 lakh, one price that you have to pay for me is you have to sit down and hear one lecture from me, he said. What is that lecture? And he taught him the 15th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Purushottam Yoga. He told the man, my dear man, Lord Krishna says in 15th chapter, Urdhamulam Adaha Shakham. I shown that picture. Ashwattam Praguravyayam Chandamsi Yasya Parnani Yastam Veda Saveda Ved. He's saying, roots are upwards, branches are downwards. There is a tree like that. Have you ever seen a tree where roots are up and branches are down? Where do you see a tree like that? See here. Oh, sorry. Where? Where is he? Reflection, correct. You see only in a reflection. If there is a mango tree in the bank of a pond, you will see upside down mango tree in the water. And you will also see a mango, but can you get that mango? If you dive into water, you will only hit your head, you won't get the mango. Huh? Similarly, Lord Krishna says, the real mango is in the spiritual world if you really want to enjoy happiness. In the material world, you only see a perverted reflection of it. And in the material world, it's like spiritual world, you get sweet rice. Material world, you get sweet rice mixed with sand particles. When you're putting the sweet, but in stone comes. And you don't want to spit also because it is sweet also. Why is it that in material world, the sukha dukkha comes together? You can never separate sukha from dukkha. Just like in a coin, you can never separate head from the tail. Can you separate head and tail? You cannot. They come together like that. Sukha, dukkha, man, apaman, chita, krishna. Profit, loss, victory, defeat. They always come together like that in the material world. Actually, this material world also has some sweetness because it has emerged from Krishna. Where does it come from ultimately? From Krishna, so it is sweet. But it is separated from Krishna, therefore it is not palatable. It has suffering. Just like, for example, a tree, if you cut a branch of a tree and bring it to your room, it will remain green for some time. Then it becomes dried up. Correct now? Like that. Because it is separated energy from Krishna. And actually it is separated means what? We living beings think that this is meant for my enjoyment. Therefore it is called separated energy. All living beings think in this world, oh, this world has many resources for our enjoyment. Therefore called separated energy. So, therefore Lord Krishna told Arjuna, here comes the connection to the topic today. He told Arjuna, take the sword of knowledge and cut the upside down tree, he said. Cutting the upside down tree means what? Going beyond the moha illusions of this world and then going to spiritual world, about which you will see in the subsequent slides. See, look at these two pictures. What is the difference you see here? On the left picture and the right side picture, there is one essential difference. On the left side picture, look at the boss, and right side picture, look at the boss and the people. See, the left side boss is causing headache to the team members. You are able to see that? Are they happy or not happy? Not happy. On the right side, the boss is making the whole team delightful. Correct now? That means our natures are stored in the mind, vasanas, and they make us speak and act in ways by which we can displease others or we can please others around us. That means mind's behavior, mind's nature comes through our senses. So, then who is the real you? Lord Krishna says that you are actually the soul, the yellow one, and you have got two equipments with you, mind and the body. Mind is like software, body is like hardware. Mind is for what? For storing your desires. And the body is for executing the desires. These two things are given to you. This part is very important. If you understand this part very well, you all will learn expertly how to deal with attachments. And then you will be able to keep your mind peaceful also while moving in this world. That's why I'm going from very basics. So you may be knowing, some of you may be knowing these things much long before, but I'm still going from the basics. So this example is given in the Upanishads. See, the senses are compared to the 5 horses, the mind to the ropes, intelligence to the driver, and the soul is the passenger. Like that. So I told you what you should do with the intelligence. I told you. Anybody remembers? Strengthen the intelligence, and mind, purify the mind, and senses. Yeah. Here also, if we don't control the horses, they are going to go in 5 different directions, and the whole chariot is going to be toppled. And the soul seated in this bodily setup machine, he's going to face trouble. So most of the people in this world are not able to control their horse-like senses. It's like this. You look at this fellow. Is the driver in control? See here. See the situation of the driver. The horses have got, taken off. They are going in all directions. He's not able to control. So, like smartphone, when you first time got it, your goal was to have smartphone as your servant. Correct, no? A smartphone will show me my educational materials, and if you want to see some important video, I can watch it. And so I can also use it for phoning. I can use it as an alarm clock. So you wanted the smartphone to become like your secretary and do some good work for you. But within a few months, you will see the smartphone starts dictating you. And who becomes servant? We become smartphone servant. This is everyone's experience. Because we become addicted. You see, this is addiction is shown here. Somebody is addicted to liquor, so he's not able to escape. You see that? That's what is shown here. Similarly, all those people looking at the smartphone are falling into the ditch. You are seeing that? And this lady is smiling and then crying also. Yeah. In this way, when the mind is attached to Rajoguna, Tamaguna and all these things, the Jiva becomes attached and he suffers. Basically, the problem is in the mind only. See, how the mind operates is very scientifically explained here. See, you get a thought first. You look at a house on the way. When you're going in your car, immediately you take a snapshot with your smartphone. And you keep meditating on it. I want to make a house. I want to make a house. Then when you get money, you get a blueprint done by a civil engineer. And then you make the actual house. Correct, no? In this way, there are 3 levels in which you manifest your desires. You have a desire, then blueprint, and then the actual object comes. Similarly, we all, our mind is compared to a microprocessor where you write the programs. Like I was a mechanical engineer before. So we used to have a CNC machine. You've seen a CNC machine? Computer network controlled machine. There's a microprocessor there. You type the programs and when the machine parts we have seen, it will move in a rotary way or a linear way. There are servo motors. Similarly, our hands, legs, genitals, rectum, speech, they are all like our servo motors. You write the program in your mind. So what program you put here will activate your body. Look at this one. For example, you can have a controlled mind or uncontrolled mind. So uncontrolled mind becomes your master and it will torture you, trouble you. Whereas if you have controlled your mind, it will serve as your servant. Like you have a driver. Say you are sitting in a Uber Ola car. You are sitting behind and he is putting some other music which you don't like. You can tell him stop it, correct or not? Because you are the passenger now and you can tell him that I don't want this. Some political news is going on. You can tell him to stop it. Or you have your own car. You are telling your driver, don't put that music, put this music. Because you are the owner of the car, correct, no? And you tell the driver, take me to temple. Imagine he takes you to liquor shop. That means who is master? He is master or you are master? In the same manner, we find our mind sometimes becomes so adamant that it actually does something on its own without your permission also. Therefore, you will see that by acting erratically, we get sinful reactions. Acting piously, we get positive reactions like this. But some reactions come eventually. So here are some more reactions I have shown. A person who is lusty, eventually in the next life becomes a dog. You see, here this lazy fellow becomes a polar bear, you see. He's dragging along, you see. Envious person becomes a snake. So the activities currently what we do accrues in the mind as durvasanas or like we say durgandha vasanas or sugandha vasanas like that. And they take us to the next body. So here he gives the example of an elephant. I have shown it here. Look at these elephants. One elephant is hitting the 2 men sitting in, I think, in a hotel or something. Other elephant is lifting the whole car, you see. So these are, you can keep your mind like this, mad elephant, or you can make it like a trained elephant. Look at this trained elephant. One is giving Ashirvad, and one is carrying people on the back, and one is drawing elephant drawing. Isn't it? See, elephant actually can be a trainable creature, it is. You can even walk elephant on the regular road. You can't walk a lion or a tiger. Can you? Have you seen like that? But you can walk an elephant. Elephant is a trainable animal. So the good news for all of you is our mind is a trainable animal. So it's compared to elephant. In the previous verse I showed you. No? Jadabharata is comparing mind to an elephant, he's saying. No? So it's a trainable animal. But if you keep it untrained, it will behave like this. So it depends on what you feed in your mind. Huh? So if you feed garbage, then that's what comes out through the senses. Or if you feed good things in the mind, then we bring out good. So these are, every youth certainly is indulging in these things. You have the choice what type of books you read. I heard that abroad, one of the books, one detective novels, when it came out in the market, in the same year, some dozen murders took place. And all those murders, they found that the ideas were taken from this book. Immediately the book was banned after that. That means first people read the books and then they are going to implement it. Correct, no? Yeah. Similarly, for example, like in Pune, we have a small temple and camp temple. Now behind it there used to be a hotel, and some of the boys started coming to temple and becoming devotees. Their friends were teasing them very much. Hey, you're going to temple and you're a Babaji, you are chanting and all that. But what happened? There were about 100 of them, and they were watching blue films, and the owner did not have any objection. The owner said, okay, if they want to watch young boys, they're fond of blue films, let them watch. But what happens when you watch blue films? The animal within you comes out. We all have an angel within us, an animal within us. So then one of the boys became mad. He wanted to connection with some girl, so he found some prostitute and kept her in one flat and started regularly visiting her. Then other friends came to know he was taking money from them. Give 5,000, give 10,000, because she was demanding, get me a TV, get me necklace, so many things she was demanding. And after he took some 1 or 2 lakh rupees like that from friends, they all started threatening him, we want the money back. He couldn't give the money. And then they also started going and meeting her. Over a period of time, 4 or 5 of these guys got AIDS. And then one day I was there in the temple, they came and said, Swamiji, we are all going back to our village because we are not sure how long we will live. Due to low immunity, anytime anything can happen, we are going back to our village. And then they told me that we were actually teasing our friends that they are going to temple and chanting. Now we ourselves want a mala now to chant. Because anytime our life will be finished, we want to know more about what is death and what is life and how to get rid of the sins that we have committed. So why I am telling you, because of their bad association with that polluting movie, they degraded their character and got into trouble. Correct, no? So our inputs are very important. See, we are very, very intelligent to buy only a Bisleri bottle which is sealed also, we make sure. Drinking water. For body, we are taking care. When it comes to mind, we put all kinds of dirty things in the mind. Like in the train, I see many people watching time pass magazines. What is time pass magazine? All dirty magazine, isn't it? Polluting information. They don't know that they are damaging the mind. So, like imagine somebody brings a Trojan virus. Will you accept him to put in your computer? You will say, get lost immediately, isn't it? So, similarly, we have to be very careful about the kind of input we take. What type of books am I reading? What type of movies I watch? So, the absorption of liberated soul, I've shown the picture of Janak Maharaj. He was a liberated personality. He could know that Lord is present everywhere in every atom. He is a Purana, he is the oldest. He is self-revealing. He is Narayana, he is Aja, he is unborn. Paresha, all these qualities of the Lord he knows in a liberated state. See, the liberated soul like Prabhupada and Acharyas, they are always remembering Lord's lotus feet and Lord's pastimes. And their mind is filled with spiritual absorption. And their whatever books they write, it's actually digested realization. Therefore, instead of using the word knowledge, I use the word wisdom. In the book, you get knowledge, but if somebody has digested the knowledge by practicing it, then they get realization. And somebody speaks with realization, that's called wisdom. So, the absorption of a conditioned soul, you say. See, somebody may ask you, is it wrong to have a car? Is it wrong to have a house? That's not the problem. But if this becomes the only goal, then it is a problem. Uh, every human being will need a house to live, food to eat, and a car to go, a family and everything. It's perfectly justified. But modern day society has become such a society that people are thinking of increasing material comforts and forgetting God. Is it right or not? Yeah, isn't it? Like, somebody has a bike, they want a car. Somebody has a car, they want a bigger car. Somebody has a bigger car, they want a chartered plane. Huh? Isn't it? Somebody has a 2 BHK, then 3 BHK, an independent bungalow, and then foreign chance to make more and more and more money. So in this way, they make this the ultimate goal of life. No other goal. That's the absorption of a conditioned soul. See, the result is like this. I showed this fellow before also, no? Same fellow, no? Correct. So they have only 2 goals, money and sex, that's all. And stupid in these 2 things, eventually they degrade and... So here he says this, I'll read the translation for you. As long as the jiva does not know the truth about the Lord, after having destroyed Maya, and is not freed of ignorance by appearance of knowledge, he must wander in this world. Which means you can study the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, get the sword of knowledge, and cut Maya illusion, and then go back to Godhead. And if you don't do that, you have to come again and again, repeatedly. Reincarnation is a proven thing now. There are hundreds of real life cases nowadays. Videos have been made also. Everybody has understood. Even educated people are watching with their wide open eyes how the jiva moves from one body to another. People have taken other bodies. So right now we all are situated in a certain body, and the current actions are going to bear fruit eventually. It's very simple to understand. Like if you study well for the subjects, you get good marks in the exam. Very similar to that. So therefore we need good association. And in good association, you can do spiritual activities. Like Arjuna, he got association of Krishna himself. And see, it's a very, very famous verse it is. Can you all repeat this verse? It's very small letters. Tasman naro sanga susanga jata jnanasine vivrikna moha harim tadiha katana shrutabhyam labda smritir yatyati paramadvanaha. Cutting up illusion by the sword of knowledge arising from detachment from matter and attachment to devotees, and gaining remembrance of the Lord by speaking about and hearing the pastimes of the Lord, a person attains the Lord at the end of samsara. So here, very important point, Chakravarti Thakur, Vishwanath Thakur says 2 things. Asanga, Susanga. Asanga means detachment from materialistic things, and Susanga means attachment to devotees. These 2 combined together is called the sword, he is saying here. See, by these 2, one gains knowledge, which is a sword. So how do you gain the sword to cut all illusion? 2 things, Asanga and Susanga. One has to cut off bad associations, and one has to cultivate good association. It's very, very... and this is the age. Your age is a very good age, because generally what happens when you come to the age of 13, that is the time children feel that my parents have too much controlled me. Now I want freedom. Now I want adventure. Now I want thrill. Now I don't want anyone to micromanage me or get behind me. Now I will figure out what this world is. So that is the kind of mood all of us get when we come to the teenage, especially 13, 19. And then we venture into the world, and as we venture into the world, we get good and bad, both associations we get. And what happens? There is a curiosity in knowing about what is bad. Somebody says, I wanted to go to the movie and see what is so bad. Why are they calling it bad? Prabhupada said, you don't have to eat stool to know how stool is bad. Actually, something is poisonous, something is bad, harmful, and one goes in the wrong direction, then one invites trouble. Somebody says, hey, this is a shortcut to your college, hypotenuse, and if you go like this, it will take long time. There's only one small problem in this shortcut. There is one bulldog sleeping there, and it's generally sleeping. What is the meaning of generally sleeping? It may be alive also sometimes, and sometimes it may be awake also sometimes. So, but sometimes we get thrill in doing some adventurous things and we get into trouble. Like in Pune, they go for this skydiving, you know that? There's a big valley, like a Grand Canyon type of big valley. Boys, girls go in parachutes. So very risky it is. Because sometimes the parachute doesn't open. Yeah. Then they will go upside down and they will break the head or break the legs. Sometimes they may die also. Instead of skydiving, they will become skydiving. Yeah. So there is a thrill in young age, and there's a saying in English called "curiosity kills the cat." You know that. Actually, curiosity is good, but not for wrong things. Say your friend is asking you, "Hey, do you have the guts to hold a liquor bottle?" And a devotee boy came and told me, "Prabhu," he says, "I don't have the guts to even hold a liquor bottle, Prabhu." And these guys are drinking so many bottles. My friend is asking, "Do you have the guts to hold a cigarette?" Prabhu, they are teasing me in front of others what to do. Then I told you go and ask him, "Do you have the guts to wear a japamala on your neck?" No? Yeah. Do you have the guts to chant 16 rounds a day? Do you have the guts to rise early in the morning? So they can't do what you are doing and you don't want to do what they are doing. Correct or not? Actually, if you tell him that you are degraded and you are walking a wrong path, they will feel upset. So we keep away from bad association. So one of my friends, in my class, I had two boys sitting on either side. So one who was sitting on one side, he also was a missionary personality. He wanted to later on, of course, he's married, he has children also, one Krishna Kumar. Now he is working with the Sanskrit Bharati, you know that? Sanskrit Bharati, they teach 10 days spoken Sanskrit. He's in a very senior position there that he is working. Doing a lot of good work. So he used to every day tell me some nice, one of the names of Vishnu, and then he would share the Vishnu Sahasranamam. So we need good people who will give us good inputs. When we get good inputs, we will be saved from bad association. Then we can do good activities. See, our spiritual activities in ISKCON are so easy. You can see here, one family is distributing Prabhupada's books. For the father, mother, son, daughter, everybody's together distributing books. They are doing Harinam Sankirtan. Mataji are making garland. One Mataji is worshipping the deity. These ladies are distributing prasadam. So the spiritual activities are very simple to do. Only you need the heart to do them with the consciousness that I am doing it as an offering to Krishna. So, and Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. So now it's getting late now. I had, whatever I told you till now, the same thing is said in the Charitamrita here. See, these are people who, in spiritual association, you are in the spiritual world. Otherwise, material association, we wander in cycle of birth and death. And there will always be faithless people. You don't have to worry about them. Yeah. Krishna says, I am there for my devotee. If you have faith in him, he will always be there for you. So, one last thing, which is said in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and this part is a very important part. I can take some time for 5-10 minutes. Yeah. Because in Bhagavatam, there are two verses which talk about the crow class people and swan class people. I've shown it in the picture. What are the crows doing? They sit in the garbage dump in a group, pilgrimage of crows, we say, and they take out dead rats, dirty things, and they are trying to squeeze some juice out of them. That is the kind of bird it is. Some birds and animals are like that. They eat dirty things like that. On the other hand, swan lives in Manasarovar lake. It drinks only milk. It leaves behind water. So this example is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Similarly, you see crow class and swan class literature. So all the crow class literature are literature which pollutes our mind. It's all about sensuous topics, man-woman topics. Or they're talking only about making big money. They talk about politics. They talk about sports. They talk about everything other than Krishna. In fact, some of them even write poems which you may be very impressed also. Like I read in my school days a poem. One poet said, even a millionaire's house window has got dress, and children in the Dharavi Islam, they have no dress. Like that he wrote a poem. Everybody will say, wow, millionaire's window has dress means what the dress is talking about? Huh? Curtain is talking. People say, wow, little they'll be appreciating the poem. But these are all mundane poems about mundane subjects. There is not even little fragrance of God at all in those poems. So either sensuous topics or mundane poetry or mundane novels. See, nowadays, children also watch all the He-Man, Batman, Spider-Man and all those different things. Or Walt Disney's camp. I was in America. Somebody asked me, see, we are going through this route. Would you like to go to Walt Disney's land? Disney World. They said one full day you can spend there. They said if you go to the Disney World. I said, what will I do there if you go there? What will you do there? You'll just go and watch what all they have. But what purification will I get by watching the Mickey Mouse? Isn't it? Watching the Mickey Mouse and all those different characters. He-Man, Batman, Spider-Man. Actually, this may be titillating to the mind, but there is no purification. When I was returning from America in the flight, I saw every screen was on, practically. I was just looking around. And in all the screens, they have all fictitious characters. All strange heads and bodies and what kinds of things. See, if Ramayana talks about Kabanda and such character, people will not read it. But they will make their own fictitious characters and promote it like that. Because reading Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, these are all going to purify us. But reading this dirty literature will purify us. So if we read this dirty literature, we will become like crow class. And if we read this sublime spiritual literature, we will become like swan class. So we have the opportunity. Prabhupada said when he came to America, I have come here to convert the crow class people into swan class people. And the devotees are telling Prabhupada, we are still crow class. Prabhupada said, no, you're becoming a swan. We are a swan with some black feathers also. We have to remove them. So, see, Prabhupada says, do not think if you surrender your mind and senses and remembering Krishna, you will be a loser. Sometimes, the FOMO principle right now, fear of missing out. Sometimes devotee boys think, hey, my friends are enjoying in their youth. If I don't enjoy, kya hoga, mera kya hoga? Don't fear, he says. Do not think if you surrender your mind and senses and remember Krishna, you will be a loser. You will not lose anything except bondage, frustration and suffering. You will only miss these things. Because it's a fact actually, the more you sincerely practice Krishna consciousness, actually this path itself is a very joyful path of chanting, dancing, feasting and everything. So, and those who have not controlled the mind, this is the result they experience from Durga's Trishya Trivida Tap because of the engagement in this. So, one line you see, the last line, Sadhu Vaidya Pai. Pramite Brahmite Yadi Sadhu Vaidya Pai. He says, the soul wanders here and there in suffering, lust, anger and greed, and then he meets a sadhu like Prabhupada here, you see. And then he made the hippies into happies. And the hippies became very disciplined and regulated and purified by Prabhupada's association. Yeah. And then he says, Krishna Bhakti Pai Tabe Krishna Nikata Jaya. They all go back to Godhead by association of saintly person. So, see here, this is a very important verse, concluding verse. There's only 1 or 2 slides now. Please repeat this verse. Bhratravyamenam tadadabraviryam upekshayadyeditama pramattaha guros haresh charanopasanaastro jahivyalikam swayamatmamosham. This is a very important verse in the sense what this is going to give you one very great secret about controlling the mind. He says, Guror Hare Charana Upasana Astrau, he is saying. Get the sword. What is the sword? He is telling, worshipping Guru and Hari. Hari is Krishna and Guru is Guru. Charana means their feet. Upasana means worship. By worshipping the feet of Guru and Hari, Guru and Krishna, a disciple can very easily conquer the mind. But how you should conquer is telling here. He's saying that dealing with the mind requires a very expert art, he says. Like when an old man, he doesn't want any noise. You've seen that? But small children like noise. They make, you've seen that? Somehow small child, if you do they become quiet. You've seen that? They enjoy. What is the sound? But old man is fed up with sound. So one grandson was making sound. And the old man said, hey, don't make the noise. Then the kid went from here to that side. Now, why is he doing that? Because he wants to irritate his grandfather. He knows that when he becomes angry, he feels very happy. He knows he can't catch me, I can run very fast. Right, no? So therefore, what here he says, your mind is creating trouble. What you do? You neglect the mind, he says. You ignore the mind. You look at the mind, okay, this is what you're saying. You just turn away from the mind. So this is called as neglecting. Because when a boy is neglected, small kid, then he doesn't do that. Because there's kuch maja nahi usme. Because now grandfather is not getting irritated. So he doesn't feel any happiness. Then he goes out to play. So this is one of the methods of controlling the mind, to ignore the mind. Prabhupada says when you are chanting Hare Krishna, thoughts will come, they will stay, they will go away. Just ignore them. And just try to focus on hearing the sound vibration repeatedly. That's first method. Second method, when the mind is creating a lot of trouble, you can cajole the mind. Bhajahure mana Shrinandanandana Abhaya Charanarvindare Durlabhamanava Janama Satsange Toroye Bhava Sindure. Very pleasingly you cajole the mind. Hey, my dear mind. See, you got a human body now. Don't waste it. Because purification is only possible in which body? Human body. Can you get purified in a dog's body, cat's body? They can't understand Bhagavad Gita. Nor can they chant Hare Krishna also. Now you got a human body, don't waste it. Please chant the holy name. Sometimes if a child is too naughty, by cajoling the child becomes quiet. So you can cajole the mind, you can request the mind understands like that. And the third way to control the mind is chastise the mind. How do you chastise? Bhakti Thakur says, in the morning, take a jadu or a shoes, he says, and beat the mind, he says. And in the evening, you take a jadu and sweep it, he says. So how to beat the mind? For example, you have to chant whatever rounds you are chanting. Say 16 rounds I'm chanting, I'm dozing and falling, for example. You tell the mind, today I'm going to chant 4 more rounds. Declare to the mind, because you didn't chant properly today. Or Ekadashi day, I'm going to chant 25 rounds. Or 32 rounds. Mind will get frightened. Hey, if I don't chant properly, this fellow will double the rounds. Like I made a policy, if I'm chanting, for example, when I'm chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, if the concentration was not good, I'll tell the mind, this round I'm going to repeat again now. Repeat chant now. So that is actually beating the mind. So actually many people, 16 rounds, if they finish, they feel liberated now. Put the weed bag on the wall, thank God. At least for today I am saved. Only tomorrow I have to chant like that. Therefore it is at 17th round if you do, that's called Prem Mala, it is said. Only you have some affection, therefore you can chant. So in this way you can beat the mind, he says. And fourth formula is how to deal with the mind. Follow Haridas Thakur's formula. What did Haridas Thakur tell that prostitute? He told her, I will fulfill all your desires, but now you have to wait till I complete my chanting. So similarly tell the mind, this 8 rounds or 16 rounds, whatever rounds you are all chanting. During the time I won't entertain any thought, that doesn't mean I won't entertain you. After I finish my chanting, I will entertain. Somebody is standing at the door and asking, please may I come in? Like that mind is asking. You say, not now. After I chant, you can come. So similarly, you are having a smartphone. Beep, it makes a sound. You think, just let me see who it is. Then after seeing, you think, let me just see, find out why he called me. So like that, then it becomes 20 minutes, half an hour, it goes. So don't entertain. Haridas Thakur formula means not to entertain instantly, but to put on hold. like that. That is the fourth method in dealing with the mind. And the last thing, the fifth thing, how to deal with the mind. Prabhupada says that one who has a pure mind can hear attentively. Chanting, he says. Then the next question comes, what? Who has a pure mind? One who is pure in habits has a pure mind, Prabhupada says. Now, who is pure in habits? And then Prabhupada says, one who is pure in eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. He is a pure person. Okay, how to eat purely? Eat only Krishna Prasad. From the mouth, if only Prasad goes in, only holy names will come out. So don't eat anything else. Eat pure substances. Prasad. And eating is not only this eating. Eating through the eyes means see spiritual forms. Eating through the ears is hearing, yes to Krishna, no to Maya, with the five senses. That is actually eating. And sleeping, sleep to get adequate rest so that my body can be engaged in Lord's service. That is not just sleeping lazily. And then mating is one should not have sex before marriage, and one should not have sex outside marriage, extramarital. So no illicit sex, that is. And similarly, defending means unnecessarily don't trouble other living beings. Like Pandavas headed by Yudhishthira Maharaj, they would never trouble anybody. But they only defended, they never offended anybody. If you do these four things, generally you will see that, if you pinch your neighbor and keep quiet, he will not keep quiet. He will also pinch you, correct, no? Unnecessarily don't offend other living beings. Mind your own business. So I learned one very good formula in this. Myopsis, Thor. That's a formula I learned, like a Zen formula. What is it? Mind your own business. And then SIS stands for save yourself. And Thor stands for then help others reform. You remember this? Myopsis, Thor. So after I heard this, I got a lot of time for myself, because otherwise we tend to unnecessarily keep giving feedback to different people. So then mind will become calm, cool, collected. And then in this way, you can direct the mind to higher taste, Krishna consciousness. So I told you 5 methods of managing the mind and purifying the mind. This way, and Jaisa An, Vaisa Man. So this I am leaving this as a homework for you. Prabhupada gives 3 reasons why there is lack of peace in this world. We can note down the purport number 1, 5, 11. In that Prabhupada gives 3 reasons. I will not talk about it now. It's getting late now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's all. So Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. This was such a enlightening session. Prabhuji told us the wisdom which is as a lamp, as an eye, and the wisdom as a sword. And that sword, which can actually cuts all the doubts, and all the more cuts all inappropriate things. How we can cut through inappropriate things? By catching the higher things. He explains on such a wonderful daily examples which can easily be understood by any youth so wonderfully. And he said the 3 formulas: strengthening your intelligence, right? Cleaning your and controlling your senses. Yeah. And then last he explained about how to deal with the mind, those 5 principles. So such a wonderful and enlightening talk. So let's thank His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu by loudly chanting 3 times. So we'll take up on the question answers, but there before we have some announcements. So today's Prerana volunteers who served for subject cutting were the devotees guided by Arvinda Madhav Prabhu, and the evening services were done by the youth devotees guided by Krishna Gaur Prabhu and Baldev Shakti Prabhu. So let's thank them by loudly chanting Hari Bol. We will also like to welcome the newcomers who are coming for the very first time for this Prerana festival. Can you all stand up at your place? those who are coming for the very first time for this Prerana festival, can you please stand up at the... Yeah. So we welcome you to this Prerana festival, and we see that we can be in a close connection with you. We have a downstairs stalls where you can get connected to our one of few of our local programs which are happening all around the Mumbai. So you can go in a Bhaktivedant hall, and there you will find more information. And for you, we have a wonderful gift. It's a wonderful book which is written by His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. That's a tips to the mind control. That's what he was explaining about, and you will have that gift also. Hare Krishna. Please sit down. Also, we are having a course which goes on a monthly in the temple premises. That's called as Discover Yourself course, which happens monthly. So this time in the December, it is in the 23rd of December, it is going to start. It spans over like 2 or 3 weekends. So if you are interested, it's like a journey of self-discovery course, Discover Yourself course. It's very good for the beginners. So you can register that downstairs at the youth corner. So downstairs at the youth corner, you can register for this device course. Also, it's a very wonderful announcement from the IYS retreat. So we are going to have one IYS Yatra in January 2024. And this Yatra will be, we are planning for Srirangam Dham. Hari Bol. So, for the detailed information about this Srirangam Dham Yatra, IYS Yatra, right? You must have seen so many videos about the IYS Yatras. So, please contact your preachers, mentors, counselors, IYS counselors. They will give you more information, and very soon we are opening up the registration. So, please contact your IYS counselor for this IYS Yatra happening on the 31st of January for the 4 days, 31st of January till the 3rd of Feb. So please reserve these days. And the next Prerana festival will be on the 20th of January. Hare Krishna. So we will have now question answer. Like if any of you have any questions, Radheshyam Prabhu will be answering it. If any one of you have questions, please raise your hand.
Hare Krishna Guruji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for the class. So I want to ask you, how do you study the Holy Scripture, such as Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam? What is your routine?
Hare Krishna. You see, when we study, we call it as Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, then Pathanam, then Kirtanam. 5 steps we call it. So I'll tell you. Shravanam means you read and understand it first. And Mananam means recollect what you have studied. So for that you have to make some bullet point notes. Like today I spoke many things. So if you made some bullet point notes of the examples, you will easily know the content of today's talk. We don't have to make a very exhaustive notes because we have no time to go through it. Just some bullet point notes. Manana means to recollect what I heard, like that. And Nididhyasan means contemplate on how this knowledge is relevant to my life. How does it connect to me in my daily life? Like I told about the mind today. You think about it, is my mind under my control or I am a slave of my mind? You can check like that. See, we all have some habits like laziness habit, for example. Lethargy is one habit. Going late night. Even though you don't have to, but still we go late night. Similarly, sometimes we tend to overeat. We experience of that. Sometimes we may slip from the purity standard of watching the impure things. So, therefore, one has to be very watchful about the mind. So, today what I spoke is something very relevant to our lives. How is it relevant to my life? How is it relevant to my friend's life? See, one of your friend, you see that he is going in the wrong direction. So, you feel it's my responsibility to save him also, otherwise you'll get drowned in samsara, correct now? So, in this way, relevant to my life. That is called Nididhyasana, means contemplate and develop conviction. That's the 3rd stage. Then 4th one, Pathanam means memorize the shlokas. important shlokas. Early morning is a very good time. Mind is like a clean slate. You can easily memorize. Within 5-10 minutes, you can memorize one shloka in the morning. So memorizing shlokas. And then we can do kirtana, means explain what you have heard to other people, by which it becomes your asset. For example, you heard this lecture today. To two of your friends, you go and repeat as much as you remember. Then whatever you spoke to them will become imprinted in your mind. So even the best students, like in my college days, the toppers, after they study something, they'll go on going and speaking to their friends. That's one of the easiest ways to remember. That's the first one called Kirtanam, we call it. So Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Patanam, and Kirtanam. If you do all the 5, it's very easy to grasp the scripture in such a way that you can remember a lot. Like when I went to US for the first time in 2008, I made a complete lectures menu. I made lecture topics, time duration that it will take, an audience for whom it is intended to. So I made about 250 topics. Now I can make 1,000 topics now. Anybody, now it goes to the temples before I reach there. So they choose from that, like you choose from your menu in a hotel also. Like they tell me, hey, give me this lecture, they can just tick mark there. And I've given code also. For seniors means S1, S2 up to S60 or something like that. For brahmachari is B1, B2 like that I given. Congregation C1, C2 like that. I given code also. So they will just send me the code number of lectures and I am ready with all the PPT, everything. I'll go and deliver it like that. So over the years, I assimilated certain topics and I spoke. Now, anywhere I go, I can very easily speak them. It becomes our asset over a period of time. That's how I would like to study. Another second thing I do in studies is, when I'm reading Prabhupada's books, I will underline important portions. And I will also give a heading to a full page or a paragraph. What is the main theme that he is touching on this, in this particular para? Something especially he talks about some particular subject. Like in one entire purpose talks about the shyness of women. So I'll give that title, shyness. Like that I'll give. Another place he talks about, the methods of controlling the mind. I give it. Then I will go to the back side of the book and I will write all these headings along with the page numbers where the detail is available. So whenever I have to give any lecture, I go to the index backside and I will spot out some pastime or some like Lilamrita pastime. Also backside of Lilamrita, I have written all the Prabhupada's pastime page numbers like that. So from here I can locate and go inside, then read it before the lecture and speak it, then it becomes my asset also. You got it, no? So in this way, our study can be made a very fruitful effort rather than just randomly reading this book, that book, and throwing away. We should read in a very substantial manner. All right? Thank you. There's one hand up there. Give the mic team, please. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
One of the technique to subdue the mind, you talked about that we have to ignore the mind.
Correct. That's the first thing. Prabhupada says that.
Yes, sir. So,
see, mind is like a monkey. See, when you see the monkey, it is doing something, you just turn your face away, it will go away. But if you also try to do something with it, it will keep on doing mischief.
But the thing is that most of the time we think that we are the mind. So that distinction is not there, that the mind is wanting that and I am something separate from it. So,
you can easily see you are separate. I'll tell you how. For example, initially mind proposes one idea to you. When you implement it, you fail and you suffer. Then mind laughs at you. Hey fool, why you did this? You did a wrong thing. That time, mind is different from me. Mind is simply covering over the soul. I showed you that picture, body, mind, soul. So you are the soul and you have a mind, you have a body. Mind is software, body is hardware. So I showed you how the body is different. I showed that girl changing into old woman, correct? No, body is actually gradually changing. It's simply garbage. It's made of chemicals only. One day it will be burnt in fire. And the mind is subtle, more softer, but that is also material only. And why God has given us the mind? Because we all have come in this world with our own desires for enjoying separately. So for storing it, it's given. Once you become a devotee, your mind is filled with devotional thoughts, then you don't need the body and mind because soul alone is enough to have spiritual thoughts and go back to Godhead. Now we need the body and mind as extra equipments to move around in this world. We are dragging this body and mind with us, doing this and that. Once we become pure devotees, we don't need these things. Clear?
So even if I understand it, but most of the time it does not theoretically I understand, but how to implement it
So
practically.
Krishna gives some practical solution. One example he gives is of the this thing, tortoise. Tortoise, what it does, it will keep progressing, moving. When there is a danger, it will immediately withdraw the hands, legs, head, everything inside and show the backside. Backside is very hard. Somebody hits on the back also, nothing will happen to him. Similarly, whenever there is Maya, we should withdraw. Wherever there is Krishna, we should manifest. Like you're coming to temple, we raise the hand, we dance, we see, look at the deity, we eat prasad. All our senses, we are exposing it to Krishna consciousness. But when you're walking on the road, you don't look here and there. You have to be very careful in safeguarding the eyes. You should not see dirty posters. So withdraw your eyes like that, isn't it? And you can't pick something wrong with your hand and eat it, which is not appropriate. So with Maya, we are more cautious. And when it comes to Krishna, we are more conscious. So conscious of Krishna and cautious of Maya, both are required. So one is tortoise example. Another example is given in Bhagavad Gita. Prabhupada says snake charmer. Snake charmer has one device, you all have seen that? Place you have seen that? So at that time the snake will come out and it will be dancing like this. And will catch the snake and remove the tooth. And then the snake is rendered, free from danger. Like that. Similarly, our senses are having that poisonous tooth of bhogavriti, enjoying mentality, all the senses. Like, for example, when somebody is walking on the road, one looks at a woman, one thinks all women are for my enjoyment only, like that eyes are looking at them like that. Similarly, the ears want to hear 120 decibel music, like the thumping DJ music. Similarly, you find mouth wants to eat those foods which are not allowed for us, like fish, meat, eggs, and all those things like that. So therefore, you will see that our senses always are going in a wrong direction. So what we should do, like this snake charmer playing that device, we should Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Gradually, you will start enjoying the music of the chanting. And there is also kirtan also. Kirtan as well as japam, both. Once the mind starts liking it, gradually the senses, will develop some attraction to it. Then you can remove the bhogavriti and replace it by seva vriti. All these boys coming to temple are regularly coming. They are developing seva bhav. They are cutting sabji, they are rolling chapatis, they are also assisting in serving prasad. Some of them are standing in the table. So they give up their bhogavriti and develop seva vriti. Like Ravana had bhogavriti, Hanuman had seva vriti. So in us there is a Ravana and Hanuman, both are popping out. So we should kill that Ravana and we should bring out Hanuman in us. Then that is the way we see. In this world, all the monkeys are naughty. They jump up and down. They shake the branch of the tree. You will see, but one monkey is sitting like this, silently and very calm. He's never disturbed. Anybody knows which is that monkey? Hanuman. Why Hanuman is calm? Because he's chanting Ram Nam. That's why he's calm. So therefore, when we chant, also our mind will become calm, because the cleaned mind is a calm mind. Uncleaned mind is a demoniac mind. So unclean mind is like sometimes the virus enters into computer, it just goes crazy. You've seen that, or it is rotating like this. So unclean mind is like that. Unclean mind is like a computer freed from virus. It will function very smoothly. Or unclean mind is like this kichi which comes in the chest due to the mucus congestion. You've seen that. Vicks advertisement, they show, something. And then they apply the Vicks. And like the morning, it's gone. Correct, no? Similarly, here we have lust, anger, greed attacking us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. It's gone. It will go away like that. That's how it will go away, by chanting regularly. All right? And one last question I can take. Yeah, yes. Where's the mic?
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Thank you so much for the enlightening lecture. It really was transformative for me, and I'm sure for many of us who are here. So my question is a personal question. I'm asking this because it could relate with many of us who are here. As you mentioned in the lecture, one way to get away from the attachment is to transfer that attachment to the higher spiritual Krishna.
Correct.
But the issue which I face personally is I am able to get away from the attachment, which could be to material or a person, while I am chanting, while I think of Lord Krishna, which is some hour of the day, but most of the time while I am not doing that, I feel attached and kind of I feel that suffering.
Correct.
How can I help myself get away from it?
Yeah. Actually, for that, we should be able to see our connection to Lord Krishna as not only when we go to the temple, Lord Krishna is standing there, so I feel connection. Actually, at every moment we are connected with Him. And how do we see that? For example, devotees wake up in the morning singing the holy name. They go to bed singing the holy name. Some sannyasi comes in the temple, we dance the holy name and sing and welcome him. When they are going back, we chant the holy name and send off like that. Huh. So when any devotee we see, we say Hare Krishna. We say like that. That is, they say, hi, hello, chodo, Hare Krishna bolo. Huh? Like that. Huh? So in this way, and also when I am doing activity, we remember, for example, as I told you, morning, if you are in a village, for example, we go to the field, you see, Krishna says, I am the light of the sun. I am the light of the moon. I am the taste of water. And it is He who gives me the grains. It is He who gives me the vegetables, fruits, and everything. Like I eat this fruit, for example, some tasty mango or something. Oh, how wonderful Krishna is. How sweet He must be. What He has created is so sweet. How nice it is. I think like that. So when we are from morning to evening, like when you are in the college also, you are the soul, correct? No, you are not the body. It's not that only when you come to temple, we are soul. We are always soul and the body is extraneous. It's like a car and we are like the driver of the body. So therefore you are reading the books on one hand, on the other hand, thinking about what you have been reading. And also one another thing very strongly will attract you, I'll tell you. There are two things in Lord Krishna which devotees are charmed by. One is they are charmed by his sportive personality. He is playful, he is naughty, he is sportive, he is mischievous, and dealing with the devotees in Vrindavan. He is a stealer of the butter, isn't it? He dances with the gopis, he goes for herding cows in the forest. So some people are charmed by his behavior. And there are others who are charmed by his compassionate nature. Like you all know that Putana, when Rakshasi came, instead of killing her and disposing her, he actually thought that she fed me milk like a mother. At least she did drama of a mother. At least. So he gave her the position of a mother in the spiritual world. So how compassionate he is. Uddhava cried tears when he heard this. Who can be more compassionate? He is always giving opportunity to everybody. And Shishupal criticized Krishna 99 times. Imagine if somebody insults you 2-3 times only, you will not tolerate. Is it not true? We will raise our hand. But Krishna tolerated 99 insults. So one has to think about it. Although he is Anandakoti Brahmanda Nayak, he is driving the chariot of Arjuna. Is called Partha Sarathi. So I was in Calcutta, which is the place? I think Calcutta. Calcutta, I was giving a big program, satsang program. One boy was sitting in the front with his mother. So he got up and asked me a question. Why Krishna has so much ego? He asked. I said, why do you say like that? He says that I am God, he tells Arjuna. He is boasting about himself. So then I asked the boy, okay, what are you doing? He said, I am from IIM. He said, if somebody may say, you are very proud. You are from IIM. IIT, IIM. And you are saying you are from IIM because you are studying in IIM. Correct? Similarly, Arjuna asked Krishna, please tell me, who is God? I am only God, he told him. Correct? He just told the truth. See, when do you say a person is proud? For example, one fellow was standing in a bus stop wearing safari dress. Somebody asked him, sir, where are you working? He said, I am working in State Bank of India. I am manager there, he said. So next day when this man went to State Bank of India, he saw he is only a peon there. He is sweeping the floor. So this is pride, correct? No? He is claiming to be somebody who he is not. Then I told him. And then I told him, say, let us assume that tomorrow you become a unit head of Infosys. I just told the boy. And tomorrow. First he became a team lead, then he became a project manager, then he became a unit head. Will you drive the car and make one GET sit on the backside? I asked him. He thought for a moment and said, no, I won't do that, he said. But Lord Krishna is doing that. I told him, there are millions of living beings. One living being Krishna is putting behind, and he is driving the chariot. So what a wonderful God he is, that he is so compassionate. He is so humble that he is driving. And not only that, Krishna tells Arjuna, all these people in the battle, I have already killed them. If you don't believe in my words, I will make the time flow faster and show you what is ahead going to happen. I will show you. Then Krishna showed him, Jayadratha and Duryodhana, Dushasana, they were all going into the mouth of the Vishwarupa. Mayaiva yete nihitaha purvameva. I have already killed them all. And I will show you. And then Krishna told Arjuna that if you oblige and fight this battle, I will give you the credit for killing all of them. And you also can take the unravel the kingdom and rule it. I don't want both of them. You take the gross benefit and the subtle benefit both. Like that he says. So in this world, giving credit to another person is not a very easy thing. One time His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj went to one program, one place. There the lavatory was thoroughly cleansed. Maharaj saw the lavatory and said, wow, so neat. You all have cleaned the washroom so well. It is so clean that you can even sit and eat here. It looks like that. So nice. And immediately some Matajis were standing and said, thank you, Maharaj, they said. And the men became very angry because men only had cleaned it. So who took the credit? And Mataji said, what to do? We were standing there. Maharaj appreciated. So we said, thank you, they said. But men were very upset. They were telling the leader that please make sure Maharaj comes to know that we only did it. And the leader said, oh, chota cheez, chod do usko, he was telling. Later on, Maharaj went to the prasadam queue. And he touched the prasad and checked it was very hot. Maharaj will generally check it. Then he saw the plate, and one plate he picked up and he saw like this, and his face was seen in that. Maharaj said, it was a Monday program, Sunday generally a lot of oil plates would be falling, after eating. So somebody had cleansed it so well. Who had done that? Mataji had done it. Mataji had cleansed the plate very nicely. Maharaj saw the plate and said, wow, it's very nice. You all have all the plates so clean. And there were a group of men, they said, thank you, Maharaj. They were saying. And Mataji became very angry. And one Mataji was so upset in the lecture when Maharaj gave the question and answer session, that Mataji raised a hand and said, Maharaj, we do one service and somebody else takes the credit. So what should we do? And then Maharaj very spontaneously said, maybe someone else's service credit you must have taken. And Maharaj just very naturally said, although the matter never came to his ears, but it was actually true that that latent cleaning was done by Prabhuji's. Mataji took the credit. And later on, Krishna gave the credit back to Prabhuji. Correct, no? See, in this world, giving credit is not a very easy thing. How many of you agree? Correct, no? Yeah. One more example I'll tell you. You all know Jarasandha was killed, right? If you put like this again the body will connect. Chapak, immediately it will come back. And Bhima tried several times. He got very fed up. He got tired also. And then Krishna gave the idea to Arjuna and said, see, you should not put the body symmetrically. You should put like this. Then they won't connect, he said. Then once he got that idea, then Bhima could kill Jarasandha. And when they were returning back, Yudhishthira Maharaj was standing outside the palace to welcome, And because after that only the Rajasuya Yajna can start. So Yudhishthira asked, so Krishna told Bhima, you go ahead. And Bhima came, Yudhishthira asked, brother, what happened to Jarasandha? And Bhima said, finished, he said. And then immediately Yudhishthira patted him and said, Sabash, if somebody comes in the hand of Bhima, they can never escape. He said, and then he appreciated Bhima for killing Jarasandha. And then Krishna told Arjuna, now you proceed ahead. So Arjuna went behind and Bhima said, brother, Arjuna also came with me, he said. Then Yudhishthira appreciated Arjuna also. Thank you for you guys going together. And then Krishna lastly got off from the chariot and he didn't speak a word at all. So you can see Krishna delights in giving credit to his devotees. He's giving credit to Bhima. Imagine if any of us were there at that time, we would have told Yudhishthira, okay, it's true that Bhima killed Jarasandha, but please ask him who gave the idea. He was killing like this, again and again it was combining. You don't ask me, you ask him only. You may say like that, because it's very difficult for us to keep mum at that time. So only God can do like that. He gives away the credit, he gives away the kingdom. See, he kills Ravana, he puts our Vibhishan there. He kills Vali, he puts. He kills Hiranyakashipu, he puts Prahlad there. He will never sit there. He always is in a mood of giving. And he just becomes a servant of Arjuna driving his chariot. So, therefore, when I told this thing, that boy was in tears. He said, your Krishna surely deserves to be God, he said. He can be, because you told so many things, these are things really. And the best part was that boy was willing to accept the correct understanding. Although in the beginning I asked a very challenging question. So, when you contemplate on Krishna's soft nature, this is another thing that will help us to easily remember him. This is another very easiest way. Rasika Shekara Krishna Parama Karuna Eidu Yehetu Hete Premara Udgama. The prema arises in the heart of the devotee because of two reasons. One is seeing Krishna's playfulness and seeing Krishna's compassion. These two things will awaken love. For some of you, Krishna's playful nature may be very charming. For others, you may be more drawn by his compassionate nature. So, whichever one attracts you, but we have to have some. Therefore, study of the scriptures itself gives the sword. In good association, you study, then you get a sword to cut off unwanted things from our life easily. All right. So it's getting late now. You all have to take your prasad also. Can we do 5 minutes kirtan, Prabhu? All right. Shri Prabhupada ki और भक्तवृंदा की Repeat loudly, please.
Hare Krishna. Please make a circle. Dance in circles.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody loudly, please. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Radhe Jaya Jaya Shyam Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Vrindavana Dham. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Nitai Gauranga Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Govinda Govinda Gopala Nandalal. Govinda Govinda Gopala Nandalal. Govinda 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 Gopala Nandalal. Govinda Govinda Gopala Nandalal. Gopala Nandalal, Gopala Nandalal, Gopala Nandalal, Gopala Nandalal. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam. Radha Gopinath, Jaya Lalita Vishakha, Radha Gopinath, Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Vanta kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki Kaliyuga pavana harinama sankirtan ki Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Lalita Vishakha ki Shri Shri Giridhari Gopal ki Shri Shri Gaunidai ki Shri La Prabhupada ki. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.